green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred.
Meaning credentials.
Best of both worlds
When we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready?
Now we're cooking. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Washington Redskins taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Washington Redskins. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on now, let's go!
Alex Smith ready to lead the Redskins here. And many wondered if Smith would ever play again following that difficult-to-watch leg injury suffered against the Texans last season. But at age 35, Smith is back and ready to give it another go.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Yo. Check.
Fire.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And this one complete to Reed. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
And partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45.
so much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game?
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Check. He's checking.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game, because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
On 2nd down, Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And here's the Redskin defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check. Good routes here. Here we go, G. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Push him back. Safe. 150.
1st down. Here's the run with Cook. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike 56.
Throwing, Cousins. And Diggs has it. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
They'll run with Cook. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They try again with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 16th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On first down, it's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
From the gun, here's Smith. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Let's go, D.
To Thompson on the draw. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. A toss to Cook. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
On 2nd and a yard, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's got this down to the 35. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 33 line. 53 is the mic. 2. Set the tone, defense.
Play fake. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Sit. Flipper. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Hey, 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Rip right.
To throw, Cousins. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Bailey now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 94 yards, and a score.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Hey, pick your game up.
Ready?
On 1st down, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Smith, and he finds the tight end, Reed. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st and 10, Cousins going up top. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
Listen to me.
On 3rd down, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So here are the Redskins now to take over. They were losers last time out to the 49ers, but right now they're on the right side of the scoreboard as they start out 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
You ready?
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
On 1st down, it's Thompson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And that will be incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Check. 53 the mic. 50.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point try by Bailey. And it is now 21-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
We play to win. Let's go.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that... Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8.
Mike. Mike. Not today, you are. Not two. Check.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 45 on second down, Cousins. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A second down run for Abdullah. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On second down now, it's Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Check 53, Mike. And watch that.
Rose.
Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Third and goal for Cousins. Steps away to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They start the drive with Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Right there. 54, right there.
Out of the gun, Smith. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Go. Go. Mike 56. Mike 56. On the hood. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Following the interception, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Abdullah. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Ken! Run! Hey, check 24, watch 24.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning this.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Smith now to throw to Thompson on the screen. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Abdullah. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Cousins, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. This one caught by Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Smith throwing again. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now Smith.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They convert on third with a gain of 22. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now, throwing the ball on this drive.
Let's get off the field, D.
Again, Smith. He'll get this one complete to Davis. Oh, Davis lost it. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Going long here for Wallace. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
We got this. 56. Mike, 56.
To throw is Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Well, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Check. Mike 56. Mike 56. Here we go, D. Here I come. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Final play of the half. Cousins going long here for Wallace. This is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears as they'll square off against the L.A. Chargers. Lots to look forward to in the late afternoon window as well, one being a late start in Foxborough, where it'll be the Patriots taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, on Monday Night Football, two of the super teams of the 1970s back at it. Dolphins and Steelers from Heinz Field to wrap up Week 8. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now we'll hook up downfield on second down. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 43.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now. So back at the midfield stripe now. They'll come up second and long. Again, it's Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third.
56. Mike, 56, right there, right there.
Cousins now from the 50. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 31-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mike, 53.
From the 27, Cousins. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 13-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it.
Number 53, Mike 53. Watch the screen. Pass.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run it again with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Bailey's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Here I come.
Again, Peterson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
To throw is Smith. And this is incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. On 2nd and 10, Smith. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw, Smith. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it. They got it.
So much for defense in this situation because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't really rush on that one. You almost concede. If they want to kick a long one like that and make it, so be it. You just don't give up the fake. Yet, they did anyway. Poor execution on the defensive side.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Tight down. There you go. Check 15. Check
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Switch.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Cousins. He's able to find Wallace. Escapes the defender. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And Diggs has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
I got you.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away. Incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Smith. Going deep here for Matthews. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. Midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Watch QB's up.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
Mike 56. Mike 56. I'm coming for that.
Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
53, Mike, 53. Check. Check 4. 3,300. 36.
Hey, no, easy. Hey, Delta.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
Throwing his Cousins. He's got his man. That's Wallace. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Check 26.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Bailey's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Thompson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's get it together, defense. Now.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Smith. He finds his target. It's Matthews. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this one complete to Reed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They run with Abdullah. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
You think you gonna get this? Hey, receiver. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey, Charlie. Watch your slant.
From the 36, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 11 yards there, first down. Abdullah. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Slide. Slant.
Now a run with Cook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Escaping the press. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Let's pick it up. Hey, Haywood. Get off the field. Let's get off the field. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. All right.
3rd and long for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. That's caught inside the 20. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 41 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Don't let him breathe. Play that time deep. Don't let him breathe. Hey, can't.
56. Mike's 56. Big stop, D.
Hey, Alpha.
Now Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Check. Check. 53 is mine.
Right here. That's what I do.
Gun.
Win the rep. Let's go. Right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Smith now to throw, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Smith now going to throw again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Bailey now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough, give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession now.
17 yards that time and a Washington first. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, It's a good running back dive play.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go. And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. Now Smith, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold us to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Check, crunch.
Abdullah on the counter. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. There we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins eluding the pressure right. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Crunch time, defense. Check 24.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Yellow.
Mike 56. Hey, we got to get to the...
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 26.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
To throw is Cousins. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing, Cousins, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They'll try and run with Abdullah. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point try by Bailey. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Amir Abdullah that finishes it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith, he'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now a 1st down throw, it's Smith. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Smith throwing again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
Right there, 56. Watch the pass. Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Following the interception, Cousins, and it's caught. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.